Hey guys, back at it. This is day 279 in my 1 year daily diary challenge. This challenge was prompted after I completed a 100-day challenge, and those first 100 days were intuitively prompted through a meditation session. I was just highly led to record and post my daily diaries to a large platform. And while I did resist it at first, I did follow through, and it's been just such an amazing journey. So if you want more information on those first 100 days, please pop back and listen in. Let's just get to the day 279. Today is a Monday. I woke up extremely early. I didn't have a very solid sleep, I would say. And I think it was just because I was anticipating the flight and travel back. So I set my alarm for 6 o'clock so I could get up and get myself ready to go. But I woke up at 4 and I was trying to get back to sleep. I think I did, but it wasn't really as solid as I wanted. But still, through those moments of being up earlier, I was doing my mantras and my meditation, just having a positive mindset about the day and about, what I'm projecting in the future. So I got up at 6, I got a shower, I got myself dressed, I got ready to go, packed up my stuff last minute, like toothbrushes and whatnot. Got out to the living room. My mom and her husband were ready to take me to the airport, and we hopped in the car and we went. I was extremely tired still, and they dropped me off. And I had pretty adequate time. I wouldn't say like I was too early or too late, but I have the pre-check on my in my arsenal. So I just went to the pre-check and I got through security in no time. I got to the gate and I had a little, sit before they were starting to board, which they were boarding quite quickly after I got there. So they did say it was a full flight, that, all the seats are booked up. But when they were ready to push back, there was like half the plane was empty because people were stuck in TSA trying to get through. So I ended up having a whole row to myself, which was amazing. I just, put my feet up, leaned against the window, took a little nap, a rest. And when I arrived, I had asked my ex to pick me up. And so he picked me up and we talked in the car about his family trip to Dominican Republic and all the things that he had to do and sort through. And then I picked up the kids, stuff with me because he brought it in the car. So that was one less thing he had to do later. And then we briefly talked about moving and the adjustment in the custody schedule and all of that. So I felt very good about that interaction. So, of course, it's going to be different. It's going to change things. We knew that. He's eventually going to move to be closer, but not quite yet. So he's also planning to do some kind of job transition. And so that might require him to have a month or 2 months of training where he's not able to have the kids. So I was like, we will figure it out, whatever happens, and we're willing to work together. So that's great. So I got home and I just dropped my stuff and started to figure out what I was going to get into. I did my vibration plate, I did my grounding and acupressure mat, I did the sauna. And so after those things, I was just like, I'm just going to chill, I'm going to rest. I am going to, catch up on emails, do a whole bunch of other things. I popped on a phone call with somebody, and I've been trying to make the plans for the week. I talked to my grandmother. I did, just catch up. It was a lot of catch up. So I got in around maybe 10 to the house. And so by the time it was, later, the kids came home from school. I picked them up from the bus stop. They were so excited to see me. I was excited to see them. We reconnected, and I got dinner ready and we talked about the weekend, and it was just, a very lovely time to reconnect. So my son was asking about the Apple Watch. So I had an Apple Watch that I used to use all the time on the daily, and I just decided that there were some studies that came out about, how they're not really good for you to wear all the time, and they might assist in poor balance and like neck pain. And so I was just like, well, let me just take it off. And I've been without it for maybe a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and it just really, like, I don't need it. And so I just like factory reset it and all that stuff. And so my son was wanting to use the watch, and I said, well, that's fine if you continue to show me consistency and maturity. We could definitely talk about the watch. And he was trying to get me to give it to him before the weekend, but I said no, it was too quick. Friday was really busy and we couldn't get it done. So then Monday comes and he's back at home and he's like, okay, what about the watch? And I said, bro, it's like, you just got home. We need to have that consistency and maturity. And so he was a little upset about that. Maybe just disappointed is the word, but yeah, so we ended up having a little argument between us. Like, he was having big emotions and I was having a reaction to his big emotions, which I really try hard to do it a different way. And this, not that it was a good thing to happen, but it was a good thing because it allowed me to realize that I still need to regulate my emotions, and I need to figure out how to do that, because if I can't regulate my emotions and my triggers, then I can't show him how to do it. So I'm going to now focus more on my work and how I can regulate my emotions and how I can tell my body, you're safe, there's no emergency, just all of these calming things to say to myself, to tell my body that it's not in a fight or flight emergency state and not to react like that. So it's also brought up too that I have stuff to still work on. Like I said, it's not a great thing to have a little argument or, a blow up, but it happens, and we're human, and we're fighting against this physical body and the things that have been stored up. So I am just moving through it. We move through it together. And that was the night we were able to come back together and give hugs and kisses and forgiveness and talk about how we're going to be better in the future. And so I have to be the example, and I have to work on myself and work on my regulation. And I will never say that I'm perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect, and every opportunity that comes up and that shows me that I'm still not perfect and I still have to work on things is just another way to grow. And so this was a growth moment to show me that this is focus on this area. So I'll be doing that to come in the future. But we were able to come together and go to sleep and be relaxed and calm for the evening. So that was great. But anyway, thank you guys for being here, for listening in, for supporting me this way, for liking, sharing, subscribing, all of the things or none of the things. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.